All right, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the video. This is a recast of the Nomad tournament that that SoloGhost put on. So this is a match between Ice2207, who's playing as the Wu, and then they're going up against RKS Raggz, who is playing as the Chinese. Both, I think, really good civs. They're playing on Stranded. So I'm going to keep the Fog of War on for a minute here. I'll take it off for a second just to kind of see the whole map. So there's like this big circular kind of wood line in the middle. It's really hilly. There's a lot of animals that can kill you. There's also some hunt. It's kind of like important to take it. It's really difficult to build town centers here. You can build like castles and other things, but town centers you really can't. It's also totally surrounded by water, and there's a lot of fish. But you are pretty far away from your opponent. So as a result of that, it's not really a water map. It's much more of a land map, but maybe there's like a little bit of water play, you know, like just a little bit. Let's put the Fog of War back on for these crazy cats here. Chinese, one of the best civs in the game, just period. You start with extra villagers. You end up being ahead about 3 villagers, I believe it should be, like over time. But you generally take a hit like early, but in a Nomad it probably helps you because you can gather a little bit of food because you start with less food. They also do have a fire galley bonus, I believe. Oh, I'm sorry, fire ships. I mean, yeah, fire ships move faster, so they have a little bit of a water bonus. The big thing for me is their technologies are all discounted, and that's including like tech switches. So if you're going from like infantry to cavalry or something like that, you can switch really easily. Now the Wu, they have some interesting bonuses. They've got nerfed over time. You know, they're part of the Three Kingdoms DLC that was like last year, I guess now. But their main thing is their infantry regenerates HP, and their military buildings give food. So early on, they have like a pretty strong attack. They also get a water bonus. Careening and dry dock are free now. They used to be available at one age early, and then when they changed the water play, like the water interactions between the different ships, they changed it. But for me, it's the early Jean Swordsman and, you know, getting that castle timing down. Because the Jean Swordsmen are super high pierce armor. They're super strong in early Castle Age. The Wu take a little bit of a hit in Imperial Age. A lot of the new civs, for whatever reason, are good early, and then they kind of fall off once you get to, like, late Imperial. The Wu, they do have the upgraded attack on the Hei Wang Cavalry. Hei Wang Cavalries are really good, but I don't know. I don't know if they like Fire Lancers. I think are better. You know, like I'd rather have a discount on Fire Lancers, or Fire Lancers attack faster or something like that. But let's see what these guys have in store for us. These guys are pros. These guys are high elo. So Raggz is 1824 right now. They've been in like the 1900s though. And Ice is 1647, but Ice is much better than that. Ice is probably closer to like 1900 somewhere. I play with Ice all the time. He plays in the CCL, and he is a very solid player. In fact, Ice, if you're watching this, if you could play some more 1v1s, that'd be great. Just to get your elo to where it should be, because you're like 1647, and that's like my level, okay? And you're way better than me, so, you know. If you could just do that for me so that I don't have to give that little like, well, he's way better than that elo, you know? That'd be great. Appreciate it. Honestly, these guys haven't actually found each other yet. They're getting close, though. But on this map, you just start basically across from your opponent every time. So it's really more important to find the map. Because you can't really build TCs in the middle, it's really important to find all of your gold. And if you notice, all the gold is kind of like tucked in real tight to the middle. Now in AoE 2, of course, you get hill bonuses. So you do more damage shooting down a hill, and you take less when someone's shooting up a hill at you. So because of that, your you know, being on the bottom of a hill is a little bit dangerous, right? If you're getting trebbed from the top, it doesn't have to be just any elevation difference. It's not like, you know, there's like, you know, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, I think. Maybe 5. I'm not sure. 6 even. I'm not sure how high it goes. But if you're just, if you're on 0 and they're on 1, they're going to do more damage. So, like, down here is like a 1 or a 2, but down here is a 0. So you're always going to tend to take more damage. So this Ice Raggz was round 1, FYI, of this tournament. But I've been helping SoloGhost cast some of these games that weren't, not that they weren't cast live, but I think that they were cast by like multiple people, and it just, there's not a good record of it, you know what I mean? That's an interesting wall. It's like behind the house. Usually you build the house like touching there. But these, the other thing with this map is these tree lines. They actually last a decent while, but they do end up kind of going away. This is kind of a tricky map to wall. And this boar coming from way out down. And both on the way up to feudal age. 24 pop each. That's like a typical feudal age here. It's on Nomad maps in general, it's pretty easy to fast castle. I think we might actually see some feudal action though. I mean, Ice is sitting at only 50 gold. They don't have any on gold, so they're probably going to make some sort of unit here. I'm not sure what though. This is kind of an interesting start. They have 2 docks, which makes you think that they want to play water, but they're not on gold. And you need gold for anything. They're building a barracks. Yeah, Ice's timing is a little bit behind there. Raggz actually isn't really much better though. They looks like they're gonna try to fast castle. They have 2 on gold, 18 on food, so they should be able to fast castle. They should be able to click up pretty quickly. It looks like Ice wants to play water, though. Let's see what they make here. And now they just put some on gold. Not sure where they're taking their gold. Hold on. Oh, they're back in this side. Ah, clever. So this island is safer, but I mean, if you get fought off water, that's going to be a problem. It's going to be a real problem. You're going to have 4 villagers out there. But I've seen a lot of players play this map, and it's pretty common that they don't fight for water, like either team. I don't know why. I think making at least like 1 fire galley and just sending it over to the other side makes the most sense. And it looks like we're going to have an archery range up from Ice here. We have Market Blacksmith, so definitely going to be a fast castle from Raggz. They just clicked up to Castle Age. And they're adding a barracks. Chinese can go into anything. I think typically you expect them to go into archers, but archers against the high pierce armor Jean Swordsman is not going to go well. So they're adding a double barracks. So I like that. Jean Swordsman, if that's what Ice ends up going into, it doesn't look like it because they added an archery range. They're making archers. But Jean Swordsman are typically really good against archers. They have really high pierce armor, so you don't usually want to go archers, but they're pretty bad against like man-at-arms or infantry. And Ice does click up. I'm actually kind of surprised that they were able to get that timing off. I guess that they just had enough on fish. But only 5 fishing ships from Ice. It is 1 more than Raggz. And they are making some fires. Pretty tight base for Ice here. They must have planned this because taking gold back here is definitely the safer route. How much gold is here? So it's 1,200, so it's going to run out. And eventually you're going to have to move over here. But Archer's on the way for Ice. Oh yeah, pretty good timing for both of them. Ice is going to be about 30 seconds behind. Double barracks for Raggz, but they're not making anything out of it. I personally, I don't like that. I don't see why you want to make production buildings and then make nothing out of it. I guess they're waiting for Castle Age because we can't make Fire Lancers until then, so their strat's going to be Fire Lancers. Fire Lancers will do pretty well against most things. I'm just thinking, thinking in my mind right now, how well they're gonna do against archers. Archers should have the advantage on the Fire Lancers. Look at the Fire Lancer's stat. So they only have a 1 range. They have kind of like a single shot attack. I don't know if it shows the actual attack. Melee is 9. I think it all does 9. So like the gunpowder shot does 9. And then like their attack does 9 as well. I think that's how it works with them. But they're going forward with them. But the problem is that they don't have like much range, right? So they have to get in, and archers can sort of like out micro them. We do have some Jean swordsmen coming out too. I'm curious how the Fire Lancer Jean swordsman matchup goes. I've never really seen this, I don't think. Not like, I'm not never maybe, but just not super popular. The Fire Lancers have more attacks. They have 9 attack versus 8, 0 and 5 pierce armor, and these guys have 1 melee. So Fire Lancers, I mean, head on head will, you know, they should be 65 HP versus 70, I think. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Fire Lancer head to head will beat a Jean Sword, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, and Fire Lancers are here. I'll take the Fog of War off here. I don't think Ice, or Raggz for that matter, really scouted what their opponent was making before deciding what they were making. Chinese do have that Fire Lancer bonus. What was it? They shoot faster? Is that what I said? They move faster. And Jean Swordsmen are pretty quick, so I think archers is going to be the answer. But he's going to need to get some upgrades. He's going to have to go into crossbow. Like, he's going to have to figure it out. And then it's really easy for Raggz to just go into like skirmishers, or rocket carts would do really well. Now, I kind of missed this, but the fire ships did come over here and take out not only the ships, but the docks, too. But heavy investment. 6 fire ships when your opponent didn't make any. Raggz kind of throwing these Fire Lancers away, though. Not ideal. It's not ideal to throw away Fire Lancers. I mean, I kind of am favoring Ice here. Also, what's the idle TC? 3 minutes of idle TC for at all. Like, Ice is going to have the eco lead for a while. But not forever. I like these forward houses. These are aggressive houses. Yeah, and Ice just does not have the military. Ice invested so much on the water. That's why on this map, I think you're better off making like 1 fire ship and then moving on. Another town center and a siege workshop. But I think Raggz is just going to stay on the attack here. These Fire Lancers are so strong, honestly. And Ice is going to get a castle up. Try to defend this. To be honest, I mean, there's really not a better spot for that castle to go that's, like, safe enough to get it up. But I would much rather have seen it, like, closer to here somehow. I don't think it would ever have gone up if you put it over here, so the position makes sense. These villagers for Ice are running somewhere. Where are they going? They're going to this stone, I think. But I think Ice is reading the situation pretty well. Raggz is on 1 TC, full aggression. So Ice is recognizing that they actually have the eco lead. They just need to kind of hold on to it a little bit. Look at res collected. Raggz is actually up 700 res collected. Which is pretty wild when you think about it. And that probably is just villager efficiency. Yeah, look at workers last minute. It's 60% to 45%. So. And Raggz found this siege workshop. I probably could have put this in the back, maybe. This siege workshop's just not going to go anywhere, and there's rams here. Ice adding another town center because they're really adding the town centers not because they wanted 3 or 4, just because they know they're going to lose these town centers. And the Fire Lancers inside the Rams. Yeah, this is a difficult position for Ice. I don't know if Ice is going to make a comeback here. Really well played for Raggz, though. Ice is doing the right things. I think that they really just overinvested on the water. I think that was their big downfall here. But it's still, even with all this, it's still a Vil lead for Ice. It's still, you know, there's a castle. It's going to be tough to push. The Rams can push it. Not, a couple of militia inside this castle. That's it. There's just no army for Ice. Ice has no solution for this. These villagers are getting lost in the sauce. There's still some villagers over here. Ice almost has enough for another castle. Ice is under a lot of pressure here. Ice might lose their docks too. They're gonna lose this castle. Yeah, I think Ice still has a Vil lead, but I don't know how you recover from this. They're moving forward. Oh, and the Fire Lancers actually come out to the side here. That's really good awareness from Raggz. This is something that a lot of low-level players just never do. When you're killing your opponent's base here, but they're not quitting, sending units to the side to where those villagers ran is the move. And yeah, the one dock went down. This dock's gonna go down. Even if that dock doesn't go down, these fishing ships are going so far away. We're getting this is like honestly the only play that Ice can make right now. Is to just move forward with whatever villagers they can, try to get a castle up on their opponent's TC. I would have liked to see them try it. It probably wouldn't have worked, but GG. So that's a game for Raggz. Let's go through some of the stats real quick. It looked to me like Raggz just very, obviously very heavy military. And Ice wanted to boom a little bit more. And then Ice going too hard on water, I think, was a big thing. 16 APM for Raggz, 6 for Ice. All right, let's get into the next game. Let's see if we can find it. All right, game number 2 is on Pilgrims. So Ice would have picked this map. So this is a map that he wants to play. Ice is playing as the Malay. Raggz is playing as the Romans. Raggz is adding a dock right away. So they changed Pilgrims so that you start with a monastery, which sounds kind of cool. But the herdables, there's no hotkey for it anymore. You have to just like find them and pick them, or when you build your town center. Yeah. So on this map, sometimes you'll see, town center really close to the water for Ice, which could be good, could be bad. The problem is you could get ranged by ships, like if not now, later on. And they're going for a dock on the back of their starting island here. So Romans, main bonus for them is they gather, build, repair 5% faster, all their villagers. Infantry armor upgrades are doubled, so you get a nice little tanky infantry. Scorpions are cheaper, so lots of times you'll see players just go like full Scorpions with the Romans. And the Galley and the Dromans have extra armor. And then later on, their Scorpions get more attack if they go for the castle attack. So that's why you see a lot of Scorpions with Roman. Now the Malay, so they have some interesting bonuses as well. Infantry armor aid upgrades are free, but the Romans will get double, so technically the Romans will be better, but they have to pay for it. Advancing to the next age is faster, so sometimes your timing can be a lot better. Fish traps are cheaper and they give you more food, so if it goes into a fish trap situation. And battle elephants are cheaper as well. So, let's see. You can also upgrade your docks to harbors, which sometimes matters, sometimes doesn't. I don't know. This map, typically, there's a lot more water fighting. Like on this map, Ice should do what they did last game. Last game, they made 6 fire ships and went and attacked. I think on the last map, that was a misread because there was no navy from their opponent. At the same time, they never really tested it. Like you're going 6 against 0, and that's pretty common on that map. So I think Ice misread that a little bit. But this map completely different though. This map you need to fight for water. Like it's really, really important. Like losing water on this map, I wouldn't say it's like a GG. It's not. Because you can still, have a big land army. But losing water on this map is really, really painful. There's also usually in a 1v1 not a lot of surprises on this map. You kind of know your opponent's going to be roughly here. Usually like Ice wanted to get up their town center pretty early, and it's paying off because they're actually up 2 villagers right now, so it's actually paying off pretty well. Or 2 eco, I guess. 4 fishing ships for Ice, 4 for Raggz, so pretty similar there. Raggz not scouting at all though with their transport ship. Ice scouted a bit. But you just want to know where your opponent's dock is. But you kind of know their TC. I like Raggz' TC spot. It's a little easier to wall off for safety. Like Ice has to win water because Ice loses water, and their TC also is kind of in trouble. And they're adding a second dock. So similar start to last game. I'm thinking Ice has a plan of just kind of starting. This is my just prediction here. I don't know. I haven't watched these games. I think he has a plan of starting every game with 2 docks. Like any water map, I guess. And just going hard on water. They also have a more line of sight. It's just on the docks that have more line of sight. Docks have +6 line of sight. Yeah, so docks are look at the difference in line of sight here. This, you get this much. And over here, I mean, wow. You get that much. It's like 4 times the amount. It's like going from 1080p to 4K. You know what I'm saying? And Ice is going to be up. I think getting that town center up, it might be worth it. Because they're going to be up about 30 seconds earlier. Which means they can make fire galleys 30 seconds earlier. I'm guessing that's what they're going to make. Neither team have any, galley bonuses. I think Galley and Dramens have +1 melee and +1 pierce for the Romans, for Raggz. And they're on 2 docks as well. So I think we're going to see heavy water from both of these guys. Good walling from Ice, trying to get ahead of things. Now, Ice was up, but nothing in queue. Not queuing up any navy right now. And Raggz immediately queues up 4 galleys. I'm confused why Ice isn't queuing up anything. Huh. You can garrison your docks, so you have a little bit more safety. I'm really confused why Ice isn't queuing up any navy though. It looks like they're just trying to fast castle. But Raggz is going to go hard on water, so it's like the opposite of last game. But I think this is the map that you want to go hard on water. The last map you don't want to. So I'm shocked and confused on what Ice is doing here. And that's with full respect to Ice, because I know how good of a player he is. That's why I'm shocked and confused. Like this is not a play I think he would do. But let's see how he reacts to it. And I don't think this is a map that you want to lose water. He did garrison his fishing ships. And ice is on the way up. These fishing ships are exposed, though. They could definitely go down. So last game, Ice invested heavily in water, and Raggz won. This game, Raggz is investing heavily in water. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, Ice has to kind of like micro these fishing ships. But he's going to be in Castle Age. Only issue is all of Ice's food income is coming from these fishing ships, and they're all going to go down. He's getting the medium warship upgrade, which upgrades everything. And he's going for fires. So fires should beat galleys in an even fight here. But if there's a lot of micro from Raggz, the galleys can win for sure. And I like this base layout for Raggz. It's going to be tough to get attacked. Ice as well, very good, very methodical, very smart. And Raggz is on the way up to Castle Age. And the fires are out, and the fires are upgraded. And there's more coming. Yeah, these fires are just hurting them. Long-range warships, they have a +1 attack. They also do melee armor compared to pierce armor. Yeah, these fire ships are owning right now. And at this point, Raggz needs to decide if they want to just give up water, because I think they're going to have to. So really, really clever play from Ice, getting that timing. And again, Malay, they go up to the next age faster, so getting up to Castle Age quickly makes a lot of sense. But they did lose most of their fishing. They have 7 still. So they're actually okay. Raggz is going to lose all of their fishing, it looks like. Now, Raggz needs to probably think about land at this point. It's not worth it to invest in water anymore. So, Ice, I doubted you, but you know what? You came. It was a big brain play. And I think that's actually why it works so well, because it catches you off guard. You know, when your opponent they make nothing in Feudal Age, you don't expect, oh, they're going to come at me with, 8 fire galleys in Castle Age. 11 fire ships. But now, see, this I think might be an over-investment, right? Like, you haven't seen your opponent make any new ships, so having 11 out there, I guess it guarantees you're going to win it, but it definitely seems like it could be considered an over-investment. You could have had a TC up earlier. We have a man-at-arms upgrade for Raggz, so Raggz wants to go into infantry, it would appear. And they're making rams, and I'm guessing they're going to make infantry. And they're going to try to get something working on land here. But the water now belongs to Ice, and Ice is adding another dock. They definitely can make more, more and more fishing. And I think, like, if you win fishing here, you're in a very, very good spot. Let's put it that way. And Ice also kind of scouting everywhere, seeing if there's any more docks coming up. Raggz isn't going to make any more docks. Raggz is going to try to do something on land here. But look at the eco difference, 52 to 36. And 2 TCs for both, but the big difference is the fishing ships. And there's so much fish here. Like I said, losing water here, you have an uphill battle. Let's put it that way. Both are fighting a wolf. Right now, both players need to convert to be playing on land, though. Ice obviously is in the better position, but they don't have any land units being made. I'm not sure what they want to make. Looks like they're going into cavalry. We have 7 man-at-arms and 3 rams, so it looks like it's going to be kind of a ram man-at-arms attack. I like the way Raggz used rams last game, and it looks like he's trying to do the same thing this game. Another barracks coming up for him. This is like the Raggz play, I think. 3 rams with some infantry inside. Last game it was fire lancers. This game it's going to be man-at-arms. He'll probably upgrade that to long swords by the time he gets there, my guess. Long swords are a lot better than man-at-arms, so you definitely want that upgrade. And there's long swords coming in. All right, let's see how this attack can go. We have scouts and a monk out there. And we're going to have elephants, actually, from ice. Elephants beat everything except for kings. This is what I've learned from my CCL games. I had a game yesterday. I was chasing kings around with battle elephants and even elephant archers, and I couldn't catch up to them. I just couldn't catch up. And we have a siege workshop on the way. Raggz, look at the eco 73 to 43 already. And oof, yeah, Raggz just got out of position there. Lost 2 rams. That's actually really bad. With the battle elephants out, I don't know how much damage this is going to get done for Raggz here. I think ice is pretty well prepared to defend this. Plus, we got some monks. Yeah, ice is ready for that. Pikemen being teched into for Raggz. The eco difference is just too much right now, though. And you can see ice is just like way ahead, score-wise, eco-wise, military-wise, like everything-wise. Ice moving forward with the elephants. Infantry can't do anything but run away. The pikes could, in theory, handle this, but you're going to need more than 2. Ice pulls back a little bit. And 10 battle elephants, a lot of battle elephants. I like the monks to heal. And Ice is adding crossbow as well. And this is going to be a very, very tricky comp.
Salve. Impera.
Now, if I'm Raggz, I wouldn't try to go from that same direction. I would try to move in this direction. Ice is backing off. Ice looks like he's content to take this fight. Battle elephants are dropping, but obviously the infantry are dropping a little faster. With the archers there, don't think Ice. I mean, Raggz is going to be able to make much progress here. Let me take the fog of war off. I know that they didn't see this, but like just going for that same position, I think was a mistake for Raggz there. Okay, that's game 2. Check out the stats real quick. Really well played by Ice. Really, really well played. Really well played on the water. Very smart. 18 APM for Raggz. Raggz is pretty quick. Let's get into the third game here. All right, let's get into the next game. So 1-1 start. That's what you want to see. It's going to be 1 second. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Persians, Italians. Okay. Out of breath. Okay. All right, game 3 we are on. So we have Ice playing as the Persians, Raggz playing as the Italians. Ice is in red. This is on Nomad, like standard Nomad. Ice is in red, Raggz is in blue. Is that what they were? I feel like they were switched, but I'm probably wrong. But we'll keep it that way for now. No, Ice was definitely in blue, I'm pretty sure. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Okay. Yeah, because Raggz won game 1, Ice won game 2. Makes the sense. But game 3 here, we got ourselves a little bit of a series. So Persians, super, super tough civ. Their big bonus is they make villagers faster. So they're pretty much always going to have the eco lead. They start with extra food, extra wood. They make villagers and fishing ships 5, 10, 15, and 20% faster depending on the age. Parthian tactics available in Castle Age. And Knights +2 attack versus ranged soldiers. You kind of forget about that. Well, I do at least. And their late game is super strong. Like, they have the best cavalry in the game, late game, pretty much. Savar. I don't know if Frank Paladin are better than Savar. I don't think so. I think Savar are the best, like, knight line in the whole game. And then Italians. So, I mean, speaking of Nightline. Nightline? Wasn't that a TV show? Speaking of Italians, though, or knights. Italians have Genoese crossbow, which are just, they just annihilate, absolutely annihilate any kind of cavalry. You have to get a castle to get them, but like they're incredible. Advancing next stage is cheaper, which is really nice, actually. Whenever I play the Italians, I love that. Docks and university techs are cheaper. Gunpowder units are cheaper, and fishing ships are cheaper. There's a bit of a theme there. Their archers and condottieri get extra armor as well. So typically you see Italians going into archers. If they're going against a cav civ, you're typically going to see them going into Genoese crossbow if they have a castle up. But Italians are pretty versatile, though. They can do other things. They're not just like a one-trick pony. Like their cav line is fine. They get all the upgrades pretty much. Just they're missing paladin, so they're pretty good there. Do they get bloodlines actually? Yeah, they get bloodlines. They get husbandry. I mean, they get pretty good lineup there. Persians, typically you're going to see them going to cav. It's pretty rare that Persians do much else, to be honest. But I guess they could in theory. Their archer line's pretty weak. I mean, they can go into camels. But on, oh, what is happening here? So this blue villager was trotting around, I guess, and they found Raggz' blue villager. They both have loom. Raggz' villager is running away, and yeah, and Ice can't catch him. So I guess Ice just noticed this dock here and just tried to kill the villager with one villager. And oh, that's an unfortunate spot for this dock here. Like that's going to be super inefficient. Let's take they know where each other are. Let's take the fog of war off. Ice we know likes to build multiple docks, so that probably isn't going to matter. But also these guys are landlocked. Look at this. Some generations of Nomad are like this. where it's completely like landlocked from like one side to the other. But it's just kind of unfortunate that, or fortunate depending how you look at it, that they're on opposite sides of this. So you'd have to sneak a dock over here, which Ice actually could do pretty easily. Raggz would have a tougher time. Well, Raggz could put one over here. Actually, Raggz could just walk over here and put a dock. So it depends on how they want to play. If you want to build military or navy out of your own dock, you'd have to go all the way around. It would take you half the game to get there. I don't know if it'd be worth it. But Ice actually walling up pretty well. Walling up on Nomad is not always easy, but they're making it look easy. Raggz does not have as easy of a route to wall up here. They'd have to like wall like this way. They have to wall across here. What are these sounds? Guanaco? Looks like a llama, but it's a guanaco. I'll say the developers really went hard on the animals lately. And they added a lot of sounds, and I feel like the sounds are also a little louder than any other sounds were. It started with the foxes, and then it went into some of the other animals. Guanaco. Like, did we really need guanacos? We had llamas. Did we really need guanacos? I guess we did. It's like a wild llama. You can hunt it. Raggz is headed up to the next age. Ice is headed up to the next age. Ice is way ahead on economy, 28 to 22. But they're probably about 6 ahead realistically because Raggz was on the way up to fuel age about a minute earlier. Man, these animal sounds are driving me nuts. Just gonna say it. Blacksmith Market coming up for Raggz. Raggz definitely trying to sort of fast castle. Typical Nomad is the fast castle. You have so much food from like hunt and fishing that usually fast castling works pretty well. And Ice, I would assume, is gonna do the same. They're getting a market up. They're actually a little short on wood for the blacksmith. They're getting that up now. Yeah, Ice, please kill these guanacos, dude. I don't know if I can listen to them the rest of the game. Like, they are really something else. Yeah, neither one playing water in feudal, which I think in a 1v1, I think you should not play water in feudal, really. Like, you want to just get up to castle age. Like, maybe on the way up to castle age. But again, just by like the based on where their docks are. And it doesn't look like Ice wants to. Ice adds another dock over here. Gets his fishing a little bit more efficient. Ice is really good kind of planning things out, I've noticed. Like, it's not just a matter of like, you know, just being faster or knowing like the text or anything like that. Like, yeah, he actually seems to have a plan and kind of a little more methodical about it. Raggz is going to be up slightly earlier. The eco lead is still +8 for Ice, but Ice is going to be 2 minutes later to castle age. And Raggz is on stone. Another really popular strat on Nomad is going to be castle drops. Doesn't look like they can actually castle drop because of the walls and everything. They'd have to like knock down a house, and I don't even know if they do that if there's space even, because I don't think there's enough space here. But we're gonna get a fairly aggressive castle here. Not quite enough. It almost ranges, to be honest. They're getting Bodkin, but I think even with Bodkin, it's not going to range. We'll see. I don't think it will. But Raggz can go into Genoese Crossbow. And Genoese Crossbow, honestly, are going to be really good against most things that Ice is going to make. Like Ice, if they want to go a castle, all you get from the castle is War Elephants. So War Elephants, you don't want to go against Genoese Crossbow. Genoese Crossbow have bonus against cavalry. That's why I'm saying, like, you just don't want to go against them. Yeah, just not something you should do. And they're being masked up right now, the Genoese. And we're gonna have a siege workshop for defense. Yeah, I'm just not sure what Ice does exactly here. I'm really curious what like goes on in his mind here. We've also seen Raggz go pretty hard into siege, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see a siege workshop. Defensive castle. I think the Genoese Crossbow are basically as good as regular crossbow, and then they get just the bonus against cavalry. They also have a bonus against ships and elephants. Well, new elephants and camels. I did not know that they got a bonus against ships, though. I mean, they could, in theory, come over here and kill some ships. But fishing's getting fairly inefficient, even for Ice with the second dock. They're going to have to build more docks up along the coastline if they want to keep that going. They do have a villager there still. Honestly, Ice could use this villager to build some military buildings and get to the back of Raggz' eco. Mangonel on defense. And that's an attack ground right there. So Ice is going to try to defend with Mangonels. I just think Mangonels, especially on controller, are so tough to micro and control. Like, it's not like you're playing Fortnite here. Like, it's just they're just difficult to shoot these units. And a couple villagers are going to go down here. One's down. Two's down. 3 down. The Genoese for now are being pushed back. I just don't know what Ice is going to make. It doesn't look like they have a super good strategy. They're making skirmishers, which will be good as far as defense goes. I'd love to see this villager make like a stable over here or something, though. Like a stable with like a few scouts coming out of it on that side would be sick. Mangonel goes down. Mangonel gets a hit. Killed one of those, Kuzma, what's it? I mean, I think like the play from Ice here is probably what they're thinking is to get up to Imp. But Raggz is on the way to Imp right now. Wow, really good timing for Raggz. Raggz is here to play. Ice did make a couple fires and they're killing all the fishing ships. But at this stage of the game, I mean, Raggz doesn't have a whole lot of, like, doesn't have any farms. Has these villagers over here looking for food, I think. I don't know where these guys are. They might be going for another build a TC or something. Skirmisher's going to push him back. Another town center for Ice. I think Ice's plan is to try to get their eco good, but they're pretty far behind right now. I mean, they're ahead in eco, but, like, just Raggz is putting so much pressure on him, and as soon as Imp comes in and Raggz can just get one trebuchet out and start taking out this castle, this town center. Honestly, if he makes a trebuchet, attack the town center and not the castle even, because the castle can get repaired. Elite skirmisher coming out for Ice. Ice just trying to kind of do some damage control. Very similar to game 1, where Ice had the eco lead. Ice won water, but Raggz just has one town center pressuring pretty hard. Ooh, ice. Raggz wants to trap ice in there. He says, you ain't ever getting out this side. That's actually really smart for Raggz. I don't think I would have ever thought of doing that. Raggz is like giving a you're stuck in here with me kind of a situation. And Ice still has a little bit of this food income. They're building another dock. Man, I think Ice is missing out on just building one stable back here. Like, I know you don't want to go into cavalry, but like just make a couple of scouts, or a couple of knights actually, and just go kill as many villagers as you can. Especially like knowing what we know, that Raggz is on 1 TC. You already killed his dock, so like you're in a good position here. Genoese crossbow moving. Yeah, the other thing on Nomad is like when you are stuck like this, the way Ice is, like it gets really difficult to kind of expand. And Raggz is going for the castle. Ice has got to feel so behind right now. Even though like they have the score lead, they have the eco lead, they have the res collected. Like they're up in every like tangible economic way. But when your opponent is an imp and you're trapped in a corner and you're getting trebbed down, and you don't have the military to really deal with what they're throwing at you, it just doesn't feel good. It just is not a good feeling. They are making a knight. Where are they making a knight from? Where's their stable? I got excited. I thought they were there. Oh, they made a stable back here. I think, oh man, Ice is gonna watch this back and he's gonna say, not a theist, you were right. You were right. You should coach me. That's what he's gonna say. And these Rams can take down this Treb, but it might be too late though. The Trebs already took down the castle. They're gonna work on this TC. Villagers are trying to fight these Rams. Good play from Ice to try to get these Rams out there. But I worry, might be too little, too late. And that one Treb's still up, and that TC is already down. Yeah, and Ice is stuck in a corner here. Does not have the military to deal with this. Ice really, really needs Imp. And, I mean, their eco is all over the place. They're floating 1,200 wood. The Genoese crossbow look like they're kind of afraid of the scorpions and the mangonels and the skirmishers. But to be honest, there's just not enough numbers here from Ice, though. The Genoese, like with a little bit of micro, they can take this all out. Ooh, that's a big hit though. Raggz doesn't have a great economy, so like losing losing some of their, they can't throw away units, put it that way. Like, they need to keep some units alive here. And I don't know where that knight ended up going. The knight's just sitting there. I think Ice, you missed such an opportunity to do something over here, man. I hate to be the one that has to show you it. But like this villager over here could have done so much for you. But that's alright, I'll coach you. Don't worry. 35 an hour. Time and a half on nights and weekends. Now Raggz is getting some kills. Yeah, I mean it is a tough matchup. Persians versus Italians. Like Persians want to go into cav. You know, if you're stuck on defense making skirmishers as the Persians, like probably not in a good position. Wheelbarrow coming in for ice. I mean, that'll be something that Raggz doesn't have. Ice is putting these units into a transport ship, and they're building a... Actually, they already did it. They're building a town center over there. So give Ice a little bit of credit, no quitting him. I think a lot of players would have been in this situation and would have been like, I'm just trapped in a corner here. What am I gonna do? Let's kill my villagers. Now the only thing I gotta say for Raggz is what they're doing offensively is great, but I think they need to work on their economy a little bit. Like, just adding another town center would probably go a long way. Adding some farms. Like, where are the farms? What's going on with the farms? Like, Raggz has 9 minutes of idle TC on 1 TC. Like, Ice... I mean, Raggz is basically, like, beyond all in. And maybe that's like they needed to in order to get to Imp, and they needed to in order to get Genoese Crossbow out. And they can realistically make Genoese Crossbow and Trebs like forever, right? You know, but realistically, like having a little bit of eco behind this would go a long way. Even if it's just a matter of just adding 6 farms so you can build villagers, right? It doesn't have to be complicated. Now, Ice looks like they want to build another dock. Over here would have won the game. But again, when you're in the game, it's tough to see, like, he doesn't know how all in his opponent is. Like, his opponent is idling the TC and has 0 farms. He has 4 on food. But it doesn't matter when you have Trebs taking out town center after town center, right? And yeah, this is like very similar to game 1. The transport ship coming over. The Vills are running. This is the real Pilgrims. And does Ice know how ahead in economy they still are? Yep, and another dock over here. I mean, tell me 3 scouts don't kill 10 villagers, though, you know? But 1 scout did end up dying over here. And now Raggz, he finds the new land. What's the accuracy on crossbow? On Genoese crossbow? 100. Ah, that's why they're so good. So do they not benefit from ballistics? Like, if anyone's watching this and they know in the comments, like, let me know. Because it says base. All right, so if we go to a skirmisher, what does that say? Base accuracy 90. But I think that's like units not moving, right? I think that ballistics still works with moving targets. Just they wouldn't benefit from the accuracy upgrade for thumb ring, let's say. Ice adding another TC up here. Bodkin coming in for Ice. Ice is trying to go full skirm to go up against this. And if Ice can go full skirm and can take out the Genoese, then maybe there's a world where they can take out these Trebs too. But this is the 4th TC. Ice is gonna lose this game. And Raggz is on 1 TC this entire time. It's crazy. Raggz on 1 TC and is not shy about idling that TC. Raggz has 0 on food right now. Raggz took his food villagers and is building forward houses. this is the way Raggz plays is hilarious. I don't think I've ever seen so much idle TC all in, and it's like such an unnecessary all in. Like literally 6 farms, and you can still make villagers this whole time because nothing else you're making costs food. These Genoese, maybe that's the way to play though. I mean, you don't have as many Genoese, you don't have as many Trebs. Pardon me. And that game was funny. Ice calls it. Wow. Good game from Raggz. Really good game. Let's go through just some of this tech real quick. That idle TC time, just all in from Raggz. Crazy. 18 APM. Pretty solid.